Today we're going to chat about those Newmarket real estate stats. So like my other videos, we're going to have a look at the most current month we have in the Toronto Real Estate Board, which is April 2021. We're going to compare that with what happened a year ago in April 20, and we're also going to contrast that with what happened in March 2021. So looking at Newmarket in April 2020, number of total home sales was 45. That is across all home types, so that is condos, semis, towns, links, detached, absolutely everything. I know that number is pales in comparison to kind of what we're seeing now. Again, bear in mind that that was the beginning of the COVID market, so a lot of sellers were unsure of the market at that time. We were all kind of unsure of the market at that time, and so a lot of listings came off the market. So and buyer demand also was very slow. So that is a true number. So 45 total home sales. Now for March and April, I've broken it out a little bit differently. What I've actually done is the number of sales is listed as the S. Now the N stands for new listings. So that's new listings coming on the market, and active listings are what's remaining at the end of the month that carries over. So I broke these out a little differently. March 2021, 432 homes came on the market. 276 sold, and 178 were left over at the end of the month, which carried into April. Now, new listings in April were 338. There was a reduction in listings by about 100 units, and that is something that I'm seeing consistently. I do about 6 market update. Well, I do 6 market update videos a month, and that is something consistently that I'm seeing across the board, is that there was a reduction in new listing inventory coming on the market in the month of April. So 206 sales as compared to 276 the month before, and active listings remain fairly close. Right, 182 is what was left over, which carried into the month of May. So April 2020, average sale price across all home types, 810,000. That rose to $1,098,000 in March 2021, currently trending at $1,079,000. Sales to new listings ratio, also referred to as the absorption rate, tells us out of the homes coming on the market each month, what is the percentage of them that are actually selling. So a year ago, we were about 50%. Now, if we're talking about, what's a buyer's market, what's a seller's market, typically anything under 50% would be considered a buyer's market. Between 50 and 60 would be more of what we would call a balanced market, which is there's enough supply to meet the current buyer demand. And when you start getting above 60, you're definitely getting into that seller's market sort of territory. So in March, 63.9% of the homes that came on the market sold, currently trending at 60.9%. Months of inventory, also a great gauge in the market, tells us that if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of buying, how long would it take to deplete the inventory? So a year ago, 3.3, 0.6 in March, and currently trending at 0.9. So again, that 0.9 number definitely reflecting the lack of listings that came on the market. Sale price to list price ratio, 97.6% of asking price a year ago, 108% of asking or over asking in March, and currently trending at 105.6. Days on market to get a home sold, a year ago 15, in March 7, and currently trending at 9. So what does this market mean for buyers and sellers right now? For sellers right now, still a very aggressive market. In fact, coming into May, because there was less listings that came on the market, anything that is hanging around is obviously going to get a little bit more attention. So, I mean, there's still great opportunities for sellers out there. It's not the market I would suggest that you could play with price. I mean, you do want to make sure that you nail that number or the strategy you're going to employ to get your home sold. For buyers right now, we are seeing more inventory consistently month after month hanging around. We are seeing offers introduced with conditions again. But at this point, I'd say the market is still day by day, week by week. But overall, I think it's encouraging for buyers out there, especially if you've been in it looking at properties for a little while. If you are considering making a change in 2021, feel free to reach out to me. I have a free no obligation seller guide to get your home sold, as well as buyer and seller checklists that I would be happy to pass on to you. Any questions, feel free to reach out. Take care.